Would you like to know the 3 rules I've come up with for getting through a depressive relapse? If so, stay tuned. Well, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author, depression counselor, and depression survivor. Welcome to your Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. The title of today's video is What I Learned from My Depressive Relapse, but of course we have to start with some humor. So we've all heard of King Arthur and the Round Table, a great mythology from England. I remember even going to the place where this round table existed. And anyway, the question is, who invented the round table? Well, I just found out. He was Circumference. All right. So getting back to the title of this talk, it's What I Learned from My Depressive Relapse. And a backstory, about a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video called I'm Sick and Tired of Being in Recovery. And in this video, I talked about the fact that after 2 years of relative mental health after I was discharged from the hospital, I fell into a dip, and I got really upset and frustrated because I thought to myself, my friends don't have to deal with this. Why do I have to work so hard for what they take for granted? And based on the huge response I got from you, my viewers, I realized I was not alone in this sentiment. Well, about 10 days later, I woke up, and to my surprise, the sun was shining. It was not only shining, but it was quite warm outside, and this was unusual for the middle of March in Portland. So I decided to take it easy and sit in the sun and relax most of the day and soak in that wonderful vitamin D. That night I slept very well, and when I woke up the next morning, I noticed a shift had occurred. I was actually feeling pretty good, and that has lasted for 10 days. As I pondered what I had learned from this experience, suddenly these words came to me. Here are 3 rules for making it through a depressive relapse, and I'm going to share them with you now. The first one is, in the immortal words of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, don't panic. And here's why you shouldn't. A day or so ago, I got a text from a client back east that read the following. Hi, Douglas. I'm having a couple of unwanted depressive symptoms. For the last 2 days, my food starts to taste like cardboard. What should I do? Then I got a call from him. He was panicking. He said, I'm going to crash. What's going on? I said, look, you're unnecessarily getting excited, because in order for someone to have a depressive episode, their symptoms have to be going on for at least 2 weeks. Yours have only been happening for 2 days, so just hold your horses and just give it some time. Sure enough, a couple of days later, I got this text. It says, Hi, Douglas. Well, guess what? My misery has lifted. Thank you for telling me this wasn't going to last 3 or 4 months. So there you have it. Rule number 1, don't panic. Here's rule number 2. Once you've decided not to panic, right, take a deep breath and get out your depression recovery toolbox and start using some of the coping skills and strategies we talk about on this channel. And here's a few of them. Check to see if your daily exercise regimen has not lapsed. If it has, get back on your schedule. Check to see that your diet and sleep cycles are normal. Make an appointment with your therapist. Discuss any significant stressors you may be experiencing, such as domestic conflict, problems at work, health challenges, or financial worries. Call your psychiatrist or prescriber so that your medication can be evaluated and possibly adjusted. Do something to nurture yourself, such as taking the day off, spend time in nature, get a loving massage, hang out with a good friend, practice yoga, or take a bath or a jacuzzi. Call your support team. Let them know you're in crisis. And finally, if you're open to prayer, call Silent Unity at 800-669-7729. Rule number 3, tell yourself, this too shall pass. Now, this is my mantra I've been saying on this channel for years, but I just found out something that is really reinforcing of what we've been saying here. It's a study from the Journal of Nervous and Mental Disease, and it says that over time, depressive episodes may end or resolve whether or not they're even treated. They did a study of people who are outpatients waiting to get treated, and in many countries, I hear this from the National Health Service in England, that people have to wait a long time before they get to see somebody. Well, in this particular study, 10 to 15% of the symptoms had reduced within a few months while people were on the waiting list, and 20% of the people no longer met the full criteria for a depressive episode. Wow. So just by waiting and doing nothing, some of the symptoms went away on their own. So That's why this too shall pass is really the truth of the matter. And let me give you one final example, how things can resolve rather quickly, or at least change rather quickly. In my support group last night, there was a young man been dealing with horrible anxiety, and during the group he looked particularly peaceful. I said, "What's going on, Gary?" He said, "Well, I don't know why, but tonight I kind of feel normal. I wouldn't have believed it 4 or 5 hours ago. I was just pacing up and down, jumping out of my skin, and I can't believe how things could have changed so quickly." Well, I said, that's what happens in these situations. Now, this doesn't mean you're cured, but it does mean that you will have respites in your disorder and your symptoms until one day they finally do resolve. So in summary, here are my 3 rules for making it through a depressive relapse. 1, don't panic. 2, get out your depression recovery toolbox and use some of those tools and strategies. And number 3, say to yourself, this too shall pass. I can't emphasize this enough because nothing is permanent. So your goal, if you slip into an unwanted relapse, is to basically hang in there. I say it again, hang in there day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. And if you do so, one day your episode will end. This has been Douglas Bloch. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it. If you did so, give it a like, or you can email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com, or leave your comments in the comments section. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, just click on my photo when it appears, and you'll be taken to the subscribe page, and just click on that button. And if you want to become a sustaining member of this channel, simply click on the Patreon link, and you'll be taken to my Patreon page, where you can learn how you can do this for as little as $2 a month. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your depression recovery. And again, remember, this too shall pass. Thank you.